It's no secret that our news team has been playing through the pain this past week since we lost our colleague Donna to cancer.
But as sports director Jake Eichstaedt shows us, her son and his teammates on the Hoggard football team are making it through with a show of support.
Needing a big play in the fourth quarter, Hoggard Junior defensive end Everett Hoerdemann secured a sack in his team's round 2 playoff win. But as he pointed to the sky, his mind was in the clouds.
I made that play. I just felt, I felt her spirit come into me. I just pointed up because I knew that she was watching. I knew I had to make her proud.
Everett's mother, Donna, passed away Tuesday after a battle with cancer, not even 8 months after her diagnosis. But for the 17-year-old, playing on Friday was never a question. How does a teenager exude such strength? Only his mom would know.
I mean, if I'm being honest, football really it helps me. I couldn't imagine myself not playing. I know that my mom really would have wanted me to, and she just raised me to always try my best, always just give it my all.
He gave that and more for his team Friday. Viking players wore white decals displaying a D for Donna, and with Everett's personalized for Mom. The galvanizing impact of his presence was evident, says his head coach Craig Underwood. He calls him a special kid and a leader for the Viking football team.
And just the mental toughness to get out and play tonight with everything that he's dealing with. The players just responded so well, and it set the tone for our team.
Everett plans on again inspiring his team for round 3 this Friday. For the junior, it's his team, his family, and of course his mother that are inspiring him.
I got my whole family right here. Going crazy, so I couldn't have sat out this game. There was no way. The team, I love all my brothers. They've all been here for me. And they've all helped me through all of this, especially the coaches. I love every single one of them, and I just love this team so much.
Wow. Everett's Hoggard Vikings are one of 4 local teams left that are still in the playoffs for round 3. Sports director Jake Eichstaedt will have a Thanksgiving Day preview of all of those matchups.
Of course, basketball fans were excited to see many of the 10 new Seahawks that are on this year's roster, but everybody affiliated with UNCW was excited to see a familiar face as well Wednesday. Jim Harris, the UNCW clock operator, began his 50th season as a Seahawk. However, the milestone is marred by melancholy. Earlier this year, Harris was diagnosed with stage 3 prostate cancer. Just as this season begins, so does his chemo and radiation treatments. However, if you'd ask him, it'd take a whole lot to keep him away from the job and the school that he loves so much.
From the opening tip to the closing buzzer, Jim Harris has accounted for every second, every minute of every UNCW home basketball game for half a century.
And they say, damn, you're good. I said, you only missed that by 1/10 of a second of stopping the clock on time. I said, man, that's 50 years of experience.
His cancer diagnosis has him thinking of the 50 years of memories, of stories, wins and losses on and off the court.
Between the coaching staffs, players, parents, becoming best man in weddings, every year we have players come back that first thing they do is come up to the bench and see me and make sure I'm there and congratulate me on another year.
In fact, it was just Jim's birthday last week.
78 years old, boy. Yes, sir. Seen a lot.
78 years young.
78 years young.
All about what's up here, too.
That's it. And staying busy.
Harris has certainly stayed busy during his time in Wilmington. In fact, the start of Jim's Seahawk story doesn't start in this building.
The whole thing started in, I came here in '67 to play baseball for Coach Brooks. I did it for 3 years. 1969, I pitched a no-hitter against St. Andrews, and we were the first graduating class as UNCW, 1970. Got it on my degree.
After his time as a Hawk hurler,
Harris stuck around thanks to his skipper.
Coach Brooks was the person that really instilled this thing into me to continue to stay with UNCW and do the things I've done. I was one of his favorites. I don't know why. I guess because he liked the way I did things. He asked me, so I need a clock keeper. And I said, well, I did it in high school, so I maybe it will help you out. And it's been going on for 50 years now.
Fast forward to today, Harris tries to pass that on to his favorites. It's evident in their conversations.
You're talking about a Wilmington icon.
I think that the relationship with those people over all these years has just been tremendous. It's been unreal. Student base, the fans, the supporters, the community, UNCW is the best. Can't beat it. I even got talked into buying a brick over the clock tower. I got a brick over there with my name on it. I don't want to tell you how much it cost, but I got Houdini'd into it.
Now, regardless of how much Jim's physical brick cost him, it's people like him and their priceless contributions that have helped lay the foundation of this university to allow it to be where it is today, even if all these people aren't here to see it.
Most of the people that I was here with have just about retired, so there's only a few left.
But Jim keeps keeping time. Despite his stage 3 cancer diagnosis, he says he's going to keep going because he knows more than anyone that every second matters.
You know, I never thought that I'd be in the situation I'm in now with my diagnosis, but I'm on the schedule right now for every game. And when they send the information out, say, here's our schedule. If you see anything that you can't make, please let us know. Well, immediately I send it right back every game. I'll have some bad days every once in a while. In the back of my mind, you got to do it. Just keep doing it. And I think this is where I'll be for another 50 years.
Now, of course, as this basketball season concludes and we get ready to send our teams off to D.C. for the CAA tournaments, there was another Seahawk alum Thursday night that was celebrating a massive milestone. I'm sure sports fans remember Jim Harris, the UNCW clock operator we did a story on at the beginning of the season. He was celebrating his 50th season in the role, but he was facing a new opponent, stage 3 cancer. He didn't let chemo and radiation treatments deter him from his goal of keeping time for every home UNCW men's and women's game this season. Thursday night, he officially checked off that box. 35 total contests. But more than completing his goal, he says he is beating cancer. I mean, talk about being the biggest winner of the day.
Year 51, here I come. That was one thing I've made my mind up already. I'm going to come back one more year. My PSA level was down to 0.03, which is almost non-existent. Like today, I was going all day today, out doing things. Running errands, going to the post office, going to the bank, just doing things that I used to normally do all the time and never even thought about it. So today was a very good day, no restrictions whatsoever. You know, being able to see UNCW basketball and been doing this for 50 years, I'm looking forward to another year of the same thing.
Harris adds that he feels about 60% of his maximum energy and hopes gardening, golfing, and watching UNCW baseball games this spring keeps moving that number towards 100. Laney and New Hanover is a historic rivalry that usually has very little love lost between players and fans. But a Wildcat coach and 2 Buccaneer parents are now forever bonded by a heroic act and their quick instincts.
I wasn't actually looking at the field at that moment. I looked back up and I just heard everyone screaming.
As a nurse, we take an oath to help people. It's just instinct to, someone needed my help.
New Hanover's Justin Wishone took his post at first base for one of the first times since he almost lost his life on the field.
They're the reason I'm here today. I'm here with my family. I'm here with these high school kids, and I'm doing what I enjoy best.
In the 5th inning of this same matchup on March 27th, Jennifer Jones and Jennifer Foster rushed towards Coach Wish's aid. administering CPR and life-saving measures.
You know, she reached over and checked him for the vital signs, his pulse, and we realized there wasn't one. The situation luckily only lasted a couple of minutes, but it felt like hours thinking back on it. But in the moment, you were just, all the adrenaline's hitting you.
You know, it's just instinct to go out there and assess the situation and do what's needed.
34 days later, the Jennifers took the field again, this time honored as heroes for their actions, throwing out the first pitch before the rivalry game.
On the field, we're rivals. You know, Laney versus Hanover, it's always something, and you know, but when it came to that moment, it didn't matter.
It doesn't matter what background, what, you know, what's going on. If someone needs help, you know, that's our job.
You get between the lines, things can get competitive. We always want to beat crosstown rivals, and they want to beat us. But I will tell you with certainty, I could feel the love from the community. I could feel all the prayers that were sent out, and I'm just blessed to be here today.
What could have been an unimaginable tragedy for both sides has forever created a bond between people who did not know each other before.
You just can't describe it, that, you know, anyone help in that situation, but the fact that he was there and alive.
You know, I was just glad to see him standing in front of me. I mean, it's something that I'll always remember, you know. I mean, that one baseball game, you just have that connection. I wish I could say it was the first time I've had to do it. It's not, and I mean, I hope it's the last time.
Sadly, statistics show she will. Only about 1 in 10 patients survive their heart stopping. Immediate CPR doubles or even triples that chance of survival. More than 12 million Americans per year get trained in CPR, but the American Heart Association says that's not nearly enough. Back locally, many of you probably remember Shelby Milliken, the coined Cape Fear Karate Kid. We usually catch up with her every summer because she keeps winning national championships, which she has, but this summer, she also received an extra special honor.
I love everything about it. I do. I really do.
Karate has brought Shelby Milliken a lot of really cool opportunities. Travel.
And I am on the plane to wonderful Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Life skills, and a whole lot of hardware. Her most recent win came off the mat. The 8.5-year-old was elected to the Ishinryu Hall of Fame in Tennessee and named
the 2023 IHOF Young Female Karateka 12 and Under Award goes to Shelby Milliken.
That is really big for me, getting rewarded in something that I do in my own style. It feels really good.
On top of that, she won more medals this summer, going undefeated in the state of North Carolina, and then at the AAU National Championships, secured 2 more gold medals in different events. You may ask, how is a 3rd grader so focused and dedicated? She says, karate helps teach her discipline and respect.
My edge is discipline equals freedom. I work hard and I just keep working. If you stop, then it's hard to get you back going, but if you keep going, you're just like, I know I gotta do this, instead of maybe I'll do this, maybe I won't.
Shelby plans on entering more tournaments and winning more medals. But one day, Shelby wants to open a dojo of her own. She says the self-defense embedded in karate is a skill that can benefit everyone.
Karate is one of the only sports that can defend you in a real life situation if somebody would try to hurt you on the street.
But for right now, this passion of hers has taken her to competitions all over the country.
America, this is for you!
And she hopes the next kid has the same opportunity and takes advantage.
A black belt is just a white belt that never gave up. And you should never give up if you truly love something and you want to succeed, because if you want to succeed in something, you should love it and you should work really hard and have discipline and respect for that thing.
Wise words from an 8-year-old that applies to everything in life.
Wow, she is so poised and she is just a firecracker.
Absolutely. She could probably be on TV one day if she wanted to. I thought a quick thing she pointed out, WWAY, her big thing is the way of the warrior.
Way of the warrior.
WWAY. This is the Warrior way.
What did she say about your kick today?
None of my kicks were good, but I did put on the best clip of my kick. So all of the other not great clips will probably be on our website, wwytv3.com.
All right, good story. And congratulations, Shelby. We're proud of you.
A Whiteville High School volunteer employee received a special honor during the Wolfpack football game last night. For 3 decades, Robert Crumpler has been the Wolfpack's band treasurer and concession stands volunteer. He called it shocking, but if you ask those who worked with him for all this time, it's well deserved.
Mr. Crumpler, we thank you for your service.
I got tears in my eyes when I came up and saw the concession stand signs with his name on it.
It finally gives him his just due to show him just how much we appreciate him. He gives, and it was time for him to receive.
An honor 30 years in the making for Robert Crumpler. Thursday night at Whiteville High School, the Wolfpack faithful serenaded the volunteer.
It started in 1993, and each successive year it seems like the next president would say, well, if you'll stay on, I'll be president next year. So I kept saying, okay, and here we are at year 31.
He has helped make sure 100% of the profits from the concessions and other fundraisers go straight to the band, allowing for trips, uniforms, and new instruments for generations.
For the last 30 years, I've probably have not missed 10 games.
It's estimated Crumpler has impacted over 2,250 band students, served 75,000 hot dogs, made 5,000 gallons of fresh squeezed lemonade, and 3,500 gallons of hot chocolate. Of course, Mr. Crumpler doesn't do everything. But finding help has become easier over the years since he took over in '93. You could say the stand has been popping ever since.
I have met over the years, met a lot of good folks. Sometimes it's hard to get workers.
Because of those relationships he has built over 3 decades, they are staffed for athletic games. Even band members, when his daughter was performing, chipping in because they just can't say no.
I was in the band over 30 years ago, and Mr. Crumpler was the volunteer at that time. He is a super amazing gentleman. He's a kind-hearted guy, and he gives effortlessly for the band. I'm a band supporter. I'm the band mom. So to know that we have somebody like him to call upon when we need things, and he makes it happen like Johnny on the spot, that is such a great resource for us.
I've known Mr. Crumpler my whole life. I grew up with his daughter, Rebecca. So he's still working with the band, and I have a child in the band, and he's just done a wonderful job keeping this program going all these years, keeping the band boosters active, and he's just a great guy.
Mr. Crumpler admits he probably doesn't have another 30 years of service in him. He is slowly trying to phase out of being in control, but admits he can't just quit cold turkey.
Lugging 15 or 20 cases of drinks is not as much fun as it used to be.
He says the signs and tribute bring him a feeling of accomplishment, and you can find Mr. Crumpler, of course, at all of the football games, but also the basketball games. And I highly recommend that fresh squeezed lemonade. You can read more of the story on our website. Of course, UNCW has a lot of rock stars on the field and returning from last year's CAA team, but what a lot of people might not know is they actually have a literal rising country music star playing the field right now. Jason Arendt, currently in at second base. He actually is a signed musician and is planning to travel. In fact, if you'd ask him, he's ready to start his country music tour today, but his Seahawks have a full season to play and a title to defend. If you ask him, he thinks if his Seahawks keep playing that right music, he can end his final album in this jersey on a high note.
There's one thing about baseball that's different than most sports is it's the most pressure. It's baseball, it's one split second every time. So you're always on the clock, you're always under pressure, you're always performing. And as a baseball player, you grow up dreaming about the big lights. When you get into a stage with a bunch of people, it's just another baseball field for me.
Jason Arendt has been playing ball his whole life. The guitar, now that's a different story. Tell me, it's only been a couple of years?
Couple years at most of singing in general. I've played guitar for probably 3 years now, but singing just 2 years.
But you'd never know that from hearing him play. And hearing the crowds cheer as he plays in front of thousands of fans at venues across the Carolinas.
I see it as my comfort zone. I love being in front of people. I love entertaining people. And I just find it fun. You know, I'm up there, I'm just going to have the best time of my life. And as long as I can have the best time of my life, everyone else will too.
You might think, how does he have time for both baseball and music? Well, technically, he doesn't now. Jason and head coach Randy Hood have an agreement, no shows during the spring season. The coach has not only accepted Jason's blooming career, he supports it.
He's very talented, he's very passionate about it. I think it's important when guys have a dream like that for people in my position to try to do what we can to help them reach their best potential in anything that they're doing.
Baseball and music have the exact same parallel that is hard work. You have to be able to sit down and put in the time and not get frustrated, not work yourself up, and just keep pushing every day. That's something that happens a lot in baseball. I mean, it's your ups and downs. Some songs are good, some songs are bad. Some shows do great, some shows suck. But you got to be able to wake up the next day with a clear mind and be ready to go.
Comes with, he's ready, right-hander.
Just like every great song, Jason's baseball career will come to an end soon.
It is a double and an RBI for Jason Arndt.
Arndt says this season will be his last, but he's stoked for his last ride and to try and win that trophy again, maybe not as the lead singer of the Seahawks, but ready to play his role.
We've got some of the most talented players in the conference by far, and we can compete with anybody. It's really just going to come down to how good of a team we are and how close we are as a team.
Now, if you ask me, Arndt sounded really good. He sang the national anthem at the UNCW men's basketball game before Thursday night.
Grace United Methodist Church in Wilmington is looking for new players for its Seniors Basketball League. Sports Director Jake Eichstaedt caught up with the players today to talk about the New Hanover Senior Basketball League. Jake, age doesn't matter when you're a baller, right?
Absolutely not, Hannah. To loosely quote the 11-time NBA champion Bill Russell, what these young bloods have to understand is this life has always been and always will be about buckets.
Basketball is a very important part of my lifestyle. Once you start putting that ball on the pavement, everything you know about basketball is going to come back to you, and it's a wonderful feeling.
It means everything to me, you know. Up here, it's basketball, business, everything else, except my granddaughter. She's up there with basketball.
The Hoopers of the New Hanover Senior League are a passionate bunch. Some say they play because old age is just a number.
We got a guy that just retired and moved here. He's 55. And we got our John Allen, who's, I think, God, I hope doesn't get mad at me for this, but somewhere between 77 and 80.
Is he developing the UNCW?
Yeah, he is, and he can shoot the lights out.
Others to show the young kids who's still the boss.
You know, I have kids coming up, they're playing ball in middle school, so for them to hear dad still playing ball, oh, that's amazing.
Those decades of basketball experience show through the capability, the camaraderie, and most of all, the competition.
Just because guys are 55, 60 years old doesn't mean they lose their competitive juice. I mean, I'm almost 62, but I love to play. I love the game. I love competition. We still go out, we push each other, we use foul language sometimes, not in the church, but you know, just to, you know, we really get into it, right?
If you came up playing sports, I mean, that's really a part of your life that's drilled into you. And as you get older and you have family and you have various responsibilities, you're still looking for that feeling, that competitiveness, that energy, that joy. And this gives us a great opportunity to do that.
It's a legitimate basketball game. 4 quarters, 5 players on a team, and the season goes on for months.
This was a league, so now you're doing everything with your team. So, you know, you got a uniform, you got a referee, you got a scoreboard, they're keeping the stats.
You can see everybody gets along, and there's no bullying in here for senior ball. You know, it's not tolerated, and if a guy falls down, you see they stop the game, they pick him up, and they keep it going. There's no arguing. If you get fouled, you get fouled, and if you want to argue, there's other places where you can play.
Ballers shooting buckets. I want to be them when I grow up, but I love the emphasis on no bullying.
Yeah, they clearly have a really good attitude and really good camaraderie between the league. Of course, basketball is a competitive game. They're out there to win, but at the same time, they're also out there to take care of each other.
I mean, those three-pointers.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys out there that can shoot. Mr. Allen definitely can shoot, and shout out Mr. Glenn.
Yeah.
I think cussing in church, it's just like basketball. You got 6 fouls before you get kicked out. This league's currently in its second year. They got 24 players right now. They're trying to add some more players. There's more info on that on our website.
Age doesn't matter when you're a baller.
Absolutely not.
All right, thanks, Jay.
During March, almost all sports fans talk about the madness. Many, and even I, am guilty of promoting the heck out of the men's tournament, but not always reciprocating that same energy for the women's tournament. That's changing now, and few would be more qualified to speak about the state and the growth of college women's basketball than NC State legend and Women's College Basketball Hall of Famer Nora Lynn Finch. I sat down with the now Sunset Beach resident to not only watch her Wolfpack beat Texas, but to also talk about the evolution of the game and why it's changing. Women's sports have come a long way since Nora Lynn Finch first began pioneering for it.
And they did everything they could to restrict competitive sport by women. How we would have miscarriages and malformed babies. We didn't have bodies that could tolerate pain, running and have lifting. We weren't built for that. We couldn't tolerate that, and we didn't have the mental and psychological disposition to handle competitive stress.
The Hall of Famer started her 31-year career at State alongside Wolfpack coaching legend Kay Yao, eventually moving to an administrative role in the athletics department. As the inaugural chair of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Committee, the evolution of basketball and the rules behind it are something she played a strong role in, like a shot clock and other rules centered around pace of play. And noticed the men's game soon followed suit.
It didn't take us 40 years to have a 30-second clock. You find our game, it is faster. It is. But we put rules in to speed it up. I don't know when men began to appreciate the changes that were being made, but I do see them, and I'm thankful. And I don't want any credit going anywhere it doesn't belong. I'm just glad it didn't take another 40 years.
Partially because of those changes, in 2024, women's college basketball is reaching never-before-seen levels. The first 2 rounds of the NCAA Women's Tournament shattered attendance records. The opening round game for Iowa.
This game, Clark, she got it. First 3 of the day for Caitlin Clark.
Drew more than 3 million viewers. She's not the only household name playing. And now, the games are even easier to watch.
To be on ABC is enormous for our game. Anytime you're on network television, people need to see so they can dream. If you see it, you can dream it. If you can dream it, you can do it.
As happy as she is about the explosion of this 2024 season, Finch says this is not a one-year thing. The game has gotten better. Now all of us are seeing it.
This season is not going to be the glory season. In 10 years, you and I sitting here saying, oh, remember back to 24. No, this is just the start of a movement. Girls are watching these women play, and they're dreaming dreams they never had. They're going to be coaches that are dreaming like they never had. We're about to see an explosion.
Now that enthusiasm at the end, it's worth mentioning. This is the first time in school history that both the NC State men and women will be competing in the Final Four. The last 2 months for DJ McLeod, from an outsider perspective, has been gut-wrenching. He spent his 18th birthday receiving treatment. His most recent scans revealed 2 more tumors that are inoperable. The graduation was originally scheduled for Monday, but DJ tested positive for COVID. So the doctors at UNC Children's Hospital called an audible and made it work so that he could graduate Friday in a safe and spaced environment outside, in front of friends, family, and the medical professionals who he clearly has built a strong bond with.
Turn that tassel. Let's do it.
Today was everything.
The very important ingredient in medicine is love, and that we should really try to love our patients. And I'll tell you, there's nobody that's easier to love than DJ.
What's been your favorite part about today so far?
Everything.
Since this summer, like meeting a running back in the hole on the line of scrimmage, the linebacker has taken cancer head on. The ups, the downs, all of it. After all, he doesn't know any other way.
When we first found out about the scans, we were disappointed. I think it was the first time that DJ cried.
How could this happen to me? This little tumor that we were so close, so ready to get out of me, expanded and grew more and more. I hate bad news, so what I do is I change it and I make sure I do the best I could, and all this love and all this care and stuff shows you that you really have people out there looking at you.
Incredibly gracious, incredibly generous, and shows immense gratitude for just us doing our jobs. When we do something for DJ, it makes us feel better. If there was ever a patient that I was meant to take care of, it was DJ.
Graduation has been a milestone since the original diagnosis this summer. With DJ's most recent scans revealing more bad news, the hospital stepped up and serenaded the 18-year-old as he received his official diploma with some special messages.
DJ, Coach Mac Brown here of your favorite football team, man.
What's good, DJ? It's the UNC men's basketball team.
Yo, what's up, DJ?
DJ, this is Eric Montross.
Hey, DJ, it's Marcus Ginyard here.
I'm so thrilled to hear that you're graduating.
I just want to say congratulations.
Congratulations on graduating early.
What's up, DJ? Congrats, man.
Best of luck, DJ.
Congratulations, my man.
I was very lucky to be a champion on the court, but you're a champion in life.
DJ had a choice: do more chemo or no more treatment. After asking which option would give him the longest time, he said, "I'm not giving up."
The peace that came over him was amazing. For my son, my 18-year-old, to look at me and be like, Mom, I don't want to die, but whatever my life is going to be, I'm going to live it to the fullest. And if that means getting chemo, then that's fine. We'll have to do chemo. He said, I believe that I'm going to be God's miracle one way or the other. But I'm going to live while I do it.
That conversation, it was like, Darnell, don't give up, man. This, even though that it's not curable, there is some type of way we can do something about this. And there's some things you can do on your own, and there's some things that people will help you with. That just keeps telling me, oh, you gotta keep it up, keep moving, keep going.
He said, the heck with you, cancer. You're not going to stand in my way.
There's not a day that has gone by, even when he is sick, even when he is hurting, that he is not smiling, that he is not trying to encourage somebody, that touches somebody to just say, guess what? I can get up today and I can do it one more day, and we can all be DJ strong. I know that God is going to heal him. I know that DJ is going to be cancer-free. I just don't know if it's going to be here on earth or sitting next to God.
And the NFL playoffs in full effect, so it's win or go home on the gridiron. With the Panthers out of contention, division rival Tampa Bay was hosting a playoff game, and a group from Wilmington are a part of history after catching the 4th missed extra point from Dallas kicker Brett Maher. Sports director Jake Eichstaedt went to the Ivy League barbershop to see for himself. Well, Jake, 4 missed kicks in one game is kind of a lot.
Sydney, in fact, in the 102 years of the NFL, no kicker has ever missed 4 PATs in the same game until Monday night. A group of barbers in Wilmington took a trip to 2 separate NFL games last weekend that both produced memorable moments of NFL history. But the barbers at Ivy League Barbershop left Florida with more than just memories.
2 playoff games in the same weekend? That's awesome.
They went for the game and left with a ball. It started as a bonding trip, over 1,000 miles of driving from Wilmington to Florida and back.
So we decided to take the trip as a barbershop and as people around us that are close to us, even invited some customers.
Well, man, we had a great time. We had 9 guys riding, different cars, everything, hanging out.
We've had a rough few years because of COVID and everything, so it was sort of like a decompressing for everybody, go out, have a fun weekend. It's sort of like bragging rights, say, hey, we're going to see Brady.
I had Harris Kelton Williams, hey, you need to catch football. My boss man, Gary Hillman, oh, I know you can catch one. You're kind of lucky.
The Ivies own season tickets for the Buccaneers, but with both games happening in the same state on different days, they wanted a double dose of NFL action. After seeing a historic comeback Saturday night,
Jacksonville down 27-0. They come back and win 31-30.
They were a part of history Monday night.
Extra point is pushed wide right. And that wasn't close off the foot of Maher.
After the first one had went into our section, it landed about 2 rows behind us. And I'm sitting there thinking, I turned to Shane, and I was like, he's going to miss this.
Try to stop the run. Easy touchdown. Extra point is missed again.
There's no way he's going to miss more than 2. You miss the first one, you're like, okay. Then you see the second one. And then after that, it's kind of like, man, this kid has completely forgot how to kick.
And now Maher misses again. And after missing the first 2 right, this one is yanked left.
So then after the second and third one, it's almost like one of them, almost like you knew it was going to happen.
If it happens, the 4th one, I was in my mind, if I catch this ball, I want to hide it. I don't want nobody to take it from me, and I'm gone. I knew it was something in history that probably would never happen again.
And now the drama of Brett Maher trying to hit an extra point. He's missed 3 tonight, 4 in a row. And he has done it again.
I grabbed it, put it in my hoodie, ran out to the side. My brother called me and said, hey, I'm going to put that ball up for you. I don't want nobody to take it from you. And I went there and finished watching a little bit of the game. I was just watching everything, and it hit off a few people to my right. And I just leaned across, just tipped it with my fingers and tipped it back to me and caught it. So when I played high school ball, I never missed a pass. Anything that was close to me, if I touched it, I caught it.
So then watching my uncle grab it and go with it, it was an amazing experience. Because we treat it like family. Like all of us, only 2 of us are related, but we all act like family. We all do stuff outside the shop. It was just a fun, bonding experience for everybody.
The ball will remain in the shop for now. Slater says they may give it to the NFL Hall of Fame. And even though they benefited off of Brett Maher's misses, they offered their support for the Dallas kicker.
It's stressful. I don't think a lot of people realize how stressful it is for kickers.
You get the yips sometimes. Every day you can't do good. Every day I can't cut hair the same. So it's just another day in the office. You just got to rebound and bounce back. So it was good to see him get the last one in.
And the extra point is good.
You could say he missed that last kick by a hair, and surprisingly, after the Cowboys won, the team did not cut Maher this week. If anybody wants to go see the ball for themselves, Ivy League is located on Market Street in Wilmington, and they do accept walk-in appointments. Sydney?